Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, May 19, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call this Wednesday night, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes through the course of anyone's lifetime, it seems like, in our eyes or perspective, some of us, that we get pulled into this feeling of falling off the path. And when the frail, egoic human persona takes over, we tend to get wrapped up in identifying ourselves as small, and I don't think any of us are exempt from this throughout this lifetime. I think we've come across this more than once, where we feel that we're small, limited, powerless, insignificant, time-bound beings who are temporarily imprisoned in a physical human form. The human experience can hypnotize us into believing that we are lost, poor, insecure, unhappy, or simply off track, which is not true. The good news is that the truth is always much bigger than the mind can fathom. Always much bigger than the mind can fathom. And whenever we perceive life to be some random, challenging, confusing experience, you might want to take an afternoon to digest these 5 secrets. They'll open up the inner avenues of connection, so you reestablish a heartfelt relationship with your spiritual essence, and you soon discover the all-powerful, magical, manifesting beings you truly are again. This is when we're in ego mind and we come down on ourselves, and we say things like, what can we do? What can I do? This is ridiculous. I'm not powerful. I'm not any of this. What am I doing here? Why am I here? What's this all for anyway? Seems like a total waste of time. Could be doing something else. So, you take the first step to opening the doorway to meeting your sacred soul. Remember that God is within the soul. Okay? It starts with feeling into your basic core nature. In other words, your natural state of being. See, we do certain things in this life, in any lifetime, and we believe that it's our natural state of being. This is our natural state. And it really isn't. We just get used to it. It's like the analogy of a dog sitting on a porch and it's laying on a nail and it's whimpering. It's been laying on a nail so long it doesn't know any better to move. That's kind of like us in a lot of ways. So the first step to opening a doorway to meeting your sacred soul starts with feeling into your basic core nature. Who are you at the very innermost center, core? You are a super powerful, divine being. Exploring this exposes you to become the highest authority of your reality and your life. Where you decide, right, what is real and what is not, you are the one who is constantly seeing, believing, and perceiving the reality you think is true. And the mind is always right about what it believes is real. It's never wrong about what direction it's thinking and believing. Even if you fall off the deep end, and I've seen people do this throughout the years, where they believe that 1 plus 2 equals 4. Okay? And the mind will be very righteous about that. Haven't you met people like that? They will adamantly stick to that. 1 plus 2 equals 4. The mind is all coiled up in an old habit of making up fantastic stories about who and what you are and are not. And when this mind drops, you drop into your core basic nature. Mindless, still, and free from all thought. Now the mind, it will try to say that you are not enough of this and too much of that and blah, 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 blah. Do not listen to the mind. Listen to your heart instead. People say, well, if I don't listen to the mind, how am I going to know what to do? You determine what you're going to do. Through the heart mind. Remember, the heart mind isn't about thinking. It's just about being. The God is the silence. That's who we really are. All this other stuff is ego mind. Doesn't it make sense that when we get into a place, right? It's like in this meditation, we find a comfortable place, spot. We make sure we don't have any outside distractions, and we relax into our bodies, and we're as still as a statue, and we focus on our breath rising and falling. That's it. That's what we do. That's meditation. Now, when we start now, you'll know that when you begin to think, you're back in the mind. While you're in heart-mindedness in the meditation, when you have thoughts start showing up, that's the ego mind trying to pull you out. Now, and then if you wander out, you say, okay, I'm an ego mind. I'm going to go right back into heart mind. With no animosity and no judgment or anything. You just say, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll just go back into heart-mindedness. See, the mind's going to drop away. Okay? And you become mindless, still and free from all thought. You're not thinking. Because you're not in the mind. And the mind will still try to say that you are not enough of this and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You say, I don't need to listen to the mind. I'm going to listen to the heart. Now you can take a second step to revealing your soul, which is found within this space and time continuum. Where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the center or the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in that space. You will discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. The more we can relax into our center, the easier it becomes to realize there never ever was anything wrong with you. That was all just a big fancy show of the mind. And it's crucial because when we believe something, right, we create it. So if you believe that you're lesser, that you're weak, that you're this, that you're that, and you believe it, you will be it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are it, but you believe it, so you create it, and then you become it. Everybody on this planet who believes that there's something wrong with them, and not only that, you have others that confirm it, verify it, support it. What do you think is going to happen? A lot. See, our soul is beyond the mind. Way beyond the mind. And the God is within the soul. It is the ever-present, eternal witness at the core essence of you. And it is always there, always available, and ready to be explored. This is the inner journey everyone is seeking. It's the one that can take lifetimes to discover. And until we find it, we cannot know deep, everlasting peace. But there isn't any concern for worry. It is predestined that you will find your soul. The spiritual stream of sacredness follows us wherever we go. The God is us. It's ironic that we spend lifetimes trying to find it. And it's right there all the time. The whole time. It's always been there. But we're always looking everywhere else. When we can really relax deep down into the core of our being, the eyes of the soul begin seeing through us. We can perceive the universal spiritual path within the mundane and understand how it's truly impossible. Really, it really is truly impossible. You're not, no matter what you do, you cannot screw up this life. Now, a lot of people think they have, right? This is when they come down on themselves and they say, oh, this is crap, blah, 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 blah. And, they feel, wow, I've really screwed my life up. You ever heard that? I think we've all been there, one time, shape, form, or another in this lifetime. But you cannot. It doesn't work that way. When we relax, we begin to truly trust life. How many of us are really relaxed? We believe that you can relax by doing what? Taking a vacation, laying on the beach, all that stuff. But truly, the only time we're ever going to really relax is when we relax into our bodies, like in this meditation. We begin to relax into our bodies. In other words, you lean into your body. You just let go and relax into the body. You become as still as you can be, as still as a statue. And you focus on your natural breath rising and falling. That's it. We can feel like we have an infinite amount of time, energy, resources, creativity, and knowledge to get it right. Only in a very deep relaxation can we surrender enough to bathe in our soul's true eternal essence. The ego and mind are set on the back burner. And what that means is that you begin, so you step into the shoes of the master and out of the shoes of the slave to your ego mind. One might ask, well, how will you know that? You'll feel it. You'll feel it. That the ego mind has taken a step backstage. It's in the back. Right? It's in the back seat. It's no longer front and center. It's no longer leading you. You've stepped in and you're beginning to lead it. There is no second guessing about if we have arrived in the parking lot of our soul or not. It's so obvious, it's like the difference between knowing the sun is shining or not. And there is only this pure feeling of knowing and getting that we are all unlimited, unbounded, perfect beings, connected in each moment to an infinite stream of consciousness, conscious, intelligent energy. Now, the soul makes us wake up and realize that we can do the impossible. Its energy is so powerful, eternal, cannot be changed. And the more we relax into this comprehension, the more we stop fighting with our mind and its list of unfulfilled desires. We simply give up following our thoughts blindly around, and we begin relaxing beneath them into the quiet solitude underneath the mind, which makes everything in life more interesting and less challenging than it needs to be. Now, third step is to unveiling your spiritual amazingness is in the practice of a thing called trust. This universe is always protecting you, helping you, and serving your highest good. It has never abandoned you and is always here assisting you to blaze through your challenges and find your greatest possible joy in life. And when you trust in this process, everything changes in your perception of reality. This universe is conspiring in your favor. It wants what you want. Be a pronoiac and not a paranoiac. Just notice what it feels like to sit back and relax into the feeling of trusting in this universe and knowing it is guiding you. When we practice the trust vibe, we can listen easily to the subtle hints from this universe. We know our life purpose and spiritual direction, and we stop ignoring it. The trusting signs are there. Just look for them. Take heed. Stop getting in the way of your highest possibility. It is in trusting this universe that we can give ourselves permission to manifest the most amazing, miraculous life we could ever imagine. We actually get what we truly want through trusting. We stop settling for a fear-based, rushed lifestyle that we do not really desire. And I invite you right now to take time to settle yourself into the energy of trust. Right? This very moment. Breathe it into your body. Feel it inside your heart. Practice this one all day long, all night long. Notice how good this feels. See if you can notice how many ways this universe is guiding, assisting, and protecting you in the next 24 hours, the next 48 hours. It is an amazing feeling when you can remain in the state of trust all week long, as it is this energy which opens the door to let your soul's full presence to come flying through. And the fourth step to discovering your soul comes from recognizing and letting go of your fears. Take the time, when you're in the grocery line, wherever, to find out what you're truly afraid of in this life. Look deep inside and face whatever old dark demons are inside you. They are just you hiding from your own soul. Your fears are not meant to haunt you and stay with you forever. That's not their purpose. If you are not facing your fears every day, then they are not fully serving you. You're meant to work with fear, push up against it, so that you expand your sense of self and grow beyond it. Release your attachments to what the fear means. Realize each one is merely a ridiculous, misguided thought. Give yourself fully over to being a fearless human being. By facing every fear that arises, you get to know your true warrior self as an all-loving, all-powerful, fearless, multidimensional spiritual being with unlimited potentiality. Fearless, who knew the darkness would lead us to the light. And with just a little exploration on our daily journey home, becomes a very sacred healing process. Now, the final step to uncovering your sparkling, bright soul comes from retraining your brain to be alert and remain focused only on that which you truly desire. What do you want in this life? What you want wants you to have it. And when you can keep your mind focusing on what you want and off what you do not want, the most amazing things will manifest in your presence. Nobody cares to hear what's on your long list of complaints. Put your kingdom of do not wants up for sale. Recalibrate your mind to meditate on what you do desire. What are those things that make your heart sing? The simple refocusing of the mind on what we want in this life is incredibly powerful and transformative. Once the mind comes around to the conclusion that as long as it's focusing on what it doesn't want, it is never going to be happy. Then it starts to rely more on pure awareness to liberate it. And the mind is already deeply trained and programmed to rewind and replay the same 60,000 thoughts it had yesterday. It doesn't like to deviate from the norm. Remain focused on what you want to think about all day long. Your soul peeks through and opens everything up, like a flower meeting the first morning rays of sunshine. You come to feel the amazing warmth that is inside your being. This is the day you truly know your soul intimately. And it will show everyone in the most natural, unassuming ways the all-powerful, deep, eternal, loving being you already are. Do not waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. When you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing also. Once we get it, which means is the God is within the soul, and the soul is where you want to be. Once we get it, that we create. There's nothing out there that creates for us. We create. Well, what about the universe? The universe is there to do whatever we ask it to do. Okay? Well, then why doesn't it work all the time? Or why doesn't it ever seem to work? Because you let the mind get in the way. And once the mind gets in the way, what happens? You stop trusting and you start doubting. That's it. So when you stop trusting and start doubting, then it negates your request completely. This is why so many people become so frustrated, and they apply these different knowings, but what they aren't reckoning with is that the mind's going to slip in there and it's going to cause them to doubt. Not to trust. See, you're trusting. You trust you and the universe 100%. But as soon as that mind comes in there, you start doubting your trust. And so the universe says, okay, so you're not going to get it. And that works the same way with all of us. It's knowing without confusion, right? Without frustration, without hurriedness, without rushing. It's a knowing. You know that your heart-mind is the key to actually discovering and reuniting with the God that you are within that body. In other words, the soul, and within the soul is the God. That is your deepest core essence. Okay? The soul and the God within the soul. You're the God within the soul. Not the body, not your name, not any of that stuff. That's all temporary. One might say, well, then if we don't do this, this, and this, then we won't have anything. But the key here is to redirect so that you know that you can have anything you desire and you just focus on it. Well then, who would work? Who would do anything? That's ego mind. You had a bunch of gods who have discovered who and what they are in a material physical body, right? And they reside in the heart, not the mind. And you know that anything that you desire is yours. Okay? And so you direct your focus through your mind, because at that point you are the master of your mind and your thoughts. So you focus and you direct your energy to exactly what it is you want, and it manifests. Now, why do people work? Why do they work? They work because that's in order for them to live, they believe they have to work. Right? And why do they work? They work because they're given money to pay bills and to feed themselves and to clothe themselves and house themselves. So in other words, you can see how wacky it is, because we're trained to do what? We're trained to work, make money, and survive life. Period. So we have to earn our right to live on this planet. It's really crazy. But see, it's been going on so long that through numerous generations, it is automatic. It's what you're supposed to do. If you don't, you're either a bum, you're a creep, you're this, you're that. By society. Society labels you. You have a job? No. Oh, you don't have a job. Maybe you should go get a job. Why don't you get a real life? Get a real job. You set society. But I will guarantee you that when this civilization comes into its own, that it knows it's a God. We all know we're a God in the body. We all know the God is within the soul. It's our deepest core essence. We are heart-minded and not ego-minded, so we direct the ego mind. We manifest what we choose. Nobody will know what that word means, work. They won't know what it means. Sure, you'll do things. You'll want to do things. You'll create and you'll help others, but that will be just natural. not something that you're forced to do. And see, there's always that fear base. What would we do if we had this, this, and this, and no one wanted to work? How would we even survive? Well, you would manifest whatever you needed. It's just a whole different way of living. We come here to enjoy our lives and help others. That's what we're here for. And along the way, we experience and we create and we discover. It's one great big adventure. It isn't meant to be tumultuous and dragging and heavy and burdensome and frustrating. And for most on this planet, that's a day-to-day continual process. And this is what it creates. Someone says, how did you do it? Where did you get that? I manifested it. Really? Yeah. Wow, it's really nice. Well, thank you. And then they say, well, I wish I could do that. And you go, we all can. It's not just a select few. All of us can do that. We just haven't discovered it yet. That's it. Will we discover it in this lifetime? Some of us will. Some of us won't. Some of us will have to take, we won't have to, but we will choose to have more lifetimes to finally get it. Will we have more lifetimes after we discover all this? Who knows? Only you know that. Everything that we are, truly, authentically, we don't know we are. Every answer that we seek in this life, we do not know it is within us. All the happiness, the joy, the bliss, the peace that we seek in this life is within us. All the manifesting and having what we want is within us. It's knowing. And so we choose, no one else chooses for us, we choose to step into that light, which is the God that we are within the soul. We choose to do that. What happens from there? We have one heck of a good time. That's what happens from there. Isn't it amazing when you don't know? Look what happens. Look what happens when we don't know. When we don't know who and what we are. When we believe that we are this material physical being on this planet. And we work for what? Think about this. We work, incessantly so, across the board, lifetime after lifetime. And all along, we have the power to create and manifest anything we choose. But see, we work for everything that can be taken away. Isn't that crazy? We work for everything that can be taken away. Your job, your house, your vehicle, your clothes, all your belongings, your money. We work for everything that can be taken away. Now, we don't think about that, right? Because we're so mired in this material physical world with the ego mind. But that is truly exactly what we're doing. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. all along, if you do an about face and you go within and you discover the God within the soul, and then you discover, and the mind starts to take, the ego mind starts to take a back seat, and you step front and center, and you reside in the heart mind, then it all shifts. It isn't anything like you thought it was or the way you were experiencing it. Now, it's shifted. The shoe's on the other foot, which means that you begin to realize that anything you want, you can create and manifest into your life. You can. It's all of us. But currently, as we have been trained, you can train any being who has amnesia, right? There's no rebuttal. There's no argument to it because we're all open books. We don't have any comparisons to make because we don't remember. So it's easy to program us. Easy. And we're filled with stuff that just isn't true. It really isn't. And we live this stuff. And we believe this stuff. But as things are rapidly shifting, many are beginning to recognize the fact that this is not the life I wish to engage. So then, what do? You manifest the life that you do wish to engage, embrace, enjoy. Doesn't it make sense that we're here to enjoy our lives and help others, and during that process, we learn and experience massively. We learn from each other every time we interact, without exception. Someone could come by you for 20 seconds, and because of maybe something they say, it just may register with you, and you go, wow, that sounds like me. We're constantly teaching each other, which I think is absolutely amazing. And we got well over 8 billion people on this planet in these physical forms, all gods, and all of these people interacting, talking, communicating, and all of us teaching each other. At a specific time in your life, someone walks into it, and you communicate, and you wake up in certain points and areas because of that conversation. You're not judging yourself or them. But we learn from each other. We're all teachers, and we're all students, see? That's how it works. So we enjoy our lives with ourselves and each other, knowing who and what we are, being absolutely authentic, no masks, no need for them. That's all ego mind, fear-based. And we create a life that we enjoy. And we manifest the things that we desire or want. That's how it works. The way it works now is very disjointed for all of us because it isn't our natural state of being, but it's forced upon us and we end up accepting it in the long run. This is why so many people are disenchanted and not that happy about things. Because if it's not your natural state of being, is it going to feel good? Not really. Are you going to force it feeling good at times? Probably. And you remember something, that no matter what you have done to others or yourself throughout your life, this universe has forgiven you. Forgave you the moment you needed to be forgiven. This universal love is always instantly there, bubbling up peaceful, healing vibes within you. You simply all you do is you sit back and let them in. Release the idea that love has to come from someone or something on the outside. Imagine it as a perpetually stream of light flowing from the most mysterious, divine place on the inside. And we all feel this, eh? It might be fleeting at times. Feeling this great healing love may start out on a mental, physical, emotional, or perhaps a super sensual level for you. Don't be too concerned about how, where, or when it shows up. Just know it is infinitely deep and infinitely real. And there is always plenty of it, just when you thought it was gone. It comes rushing in. All you need to do is simply relax into your life for an extended period of time. Then it will come. It often shows itself as some profound spiritual experience in the beginning. This is your wake-up call, so you know how powerful and real it truly is. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. This moment contains everything. Surrender to it. And guess what? You'll actually get the whole universe with it. This is an extraordinary depth to any seemingly ordinary life. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Tuesday, May 20, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there or within you, open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.